Toya Jackson is here. Of course, she has a lot going on. Here's the music video for her new song, Home, which is available, sign of the times, on iTunes. So nice to see you. You're so tiny. Come on. I want to go this way, you go that way if you want.
Stay away from strange men with candy. I do mean this one.
Hi,
And you know, Jill.
You are so tiny. And when you're pregnant, everyone gets smaller.
Would you rub her tummy? Would you rub her tummy for good luck?
Oh, I don't care. Sure. Tummy, boobs, rub it all. I don't care.
So anything going on at all?
How are you? How are you doing?
Thank you.
How is your mom?
I like the way you sit up high like that.
Yeah, we have
On
cushions.
Where's her pillow? You want to here? Yeah. I got two because I'm a shrimp. You want a pillow?
I love pillows.
There you go.
I mentioned today you were coming on Twitter, and people are very excited, and they say, we have so many questions. Has she got music again? Yes, you do on iTunes.
Yes.
Would you do Playboy again? They loved your pictorial. No?
No.
No,
Well, I think you're about to do it here.
I know.
We don't pay enough.
Okay,
Don't do it here.
How are you? How is your mom? How is everybody coping?
Are we on?
Yeah, this is on.
You guys, you didn't tell me we were on.
We're on.
Sorry.
Is this thing on?
Well, we're still on. We're off. Let's talk.
Sorry, we're way casual.
It took you to say, okay, how's your mom coping? I said, are we on?
Yeah, she didn't get the broadcast voice until then.
No, my
right.
mother's, she's doing well, actually. She really is, yeah. She's, coming around and getting over everything.
How about you? How about you?
Yeah, we all are. It takes a while. I still can't, to this day, really believe that this actually happened or took place. You don't wish to believe it. That's what it is, really. Yes.
Yeah.
Are there times when you forget almost, and then you have that?
You want to pick up the phone and make a call? Yeah.
There are, of course, always. I think the worst of it all is really, for me, is the silence. When you're alone, when you're in the silence, believe it or not, it talks to you. The memories of everything comes back, and you start thinking thoughts and thinking things. So that's very difficult, being in the silence.
I heard the kids went trick-or-treating this weekend, and I heard it was the first time they'd ever gone. And also, because Michael did not spend that much time with his brothers, he didn't really know a lot of his cousins, and the kids are now getting to know.
Well, they're just having a ball with all of their cousins. No, they knew their cousins, of course, but they didn't spend as much time as they are now, which is really great. And they're adjusting so well, which is really wonderful. I'm very proud of them. They're, kids are resilient. They bounce back, which is very, very good for them.
I think so much, when Paris spoke at the service, people didn't really know his kids, and they saw them in public covered and things like this. And when she spoke, boy, it put a human face on her and on Michael as a father.
Yeah. You're absolutely right. I felt that when she did speak, that it humanized him. Because we knew Michael to be that way, but you guys didn't know him that way. And just that little magic moment. Just the world began to realize, gosh, he is a father, and he's a mother too. He was just he was the best father in the world, guys, the absolute best.
Well,
you have no idea.
Kids spoke and they said that.
Look, Toya, after his death, you said some things that concerned a lot of people about how he died and why he died.
Do you still think it was a murder?
Yeah. Well, it was homicide. Look it up in the dictionary. That's what it is, and that's what I believed it to be. And my reason for that was that Michael told me. He says, if I die, he was afraid that someone's going to kill him. He feared that. And, you want to believe it, but then again, you don't wish to believe it. And he was just afraid. He said, Latoya, they're going to kill me.
Do you think it was just a horrible mistake made by this one doctor, or do you think it was something else?
It's really, really difficult to say. And at the same time, actually, they're still investigating it, so I can't really go into detail as far as that is concerned, of course.
Well, let me ask you a couple of questions, and you can answer as much as you're able to.
Sure.
The report that there was a chunk of money missing right after his death. Where is that?
I don't know if there was money missing after his death. I have no idea. This is what was said. Whether it was or not, who knows? I don't know. But I do know that Michael passed somewhere around 9:30, and people were in and out of his home. The family didn't get to Michael's house until nearly 12:30 that night.
Oh, so all day?
Yeah,
and
all
night
day.
went
And
by.
And right away I heard they called people, and people came there, and they fired all the staff, which was very strange to me. Immediately the staff was fired. It says, you can go home.
Who's the they? Do you know?
The people that were working there, actually, the people that were in charge. And this is what they did. And to me, that's very suspicious right away.
Right.
And
because I found that to be very unusual. Because if anything, you want the staff to stay there and say, this is what took place. This is what happened. Yeah. When everyone's fired and gone and say, leave immediately, who do you talk to? Where do you get answers from?
You were in the hospital.
Yes, I was. Yes.
And did you get there in time to get any sense of Michael at all? Or
no, actually, Michael had passed at his home. He did not pass in the hospital. He was dead at home. And you must remember the doctor called 2 hours later. I think it was 2 to 3 hours later.
Did you know the doctor? Did you know the doctor?
No, I didn't know him at all. No, not at all.
When he forced the paramedics to work on Michael, even though everyone knew that Michael was already dead.
Yeah. And he was dead before they got there.
Yeah.
How did you find out?
I found out through my father. My father called me and told me to get over there right away. He says, Michael's they're taking him to the hospital. He's sick. And I said, he is? He goes, yes. And he called me like 10 minutes later and says, Latoya, you get over there immediately. I think he's had a heart attack or something like that. He says, I don't know what it is. And that's when I got in the car and I started driving over there. And I called my mother's assistant because my mother was there. And I kept asking him, how's he doing? How's he doing? And he would never, ever tell me. I kept saying, Trent, how's he doing? Can you tell me how he's doing? And he wouldn't say anything. I heard my mother in the background. She yelled, who is it? And he says, it's Latoya. And she goes, he's dead! And she just screamed it so loud. And when she did that, I was driving, and I almost crashed the car, and I stopped the car, and I asked people, please, can you drive me? Because everything gets weak.
Yeah.
All of my legs and everything got so weak.
I see you shaking.
Yeah, I know. It's bringing that feeling back. I was just crying, saying, please drive me, please. And I was only like 3 minutes away, because I'm about 5 or 3 minutes from Michael, yeah.
And there were stories that the doctor even called your father before he called 911. Is that true? There were so many stories that came out.
No, he didn't call I don't know if he did. I never asked my father that, actually. I don't know. But I do know he called other people before he called 911, which is quite strange, isn't it?
Yes, of course it is, in a situation like that.
And the legacy, you're part of the legacy, you're part of the caretaker of the legacy of Michael Jackson. And on one level it's beautiful, and on another level it's going to be a lot of people fighting over things. Am I correct?
You know what it is? His estate is taking care of everything, and the executors are taking care of things. But the fact of the matter is that I think it's important for the family to be instrumental in all of this, because after all, it is Michael's family, and not just take complete control in that sense.
I'm not even sure if I should bring this up. Years ago, you said some things about Michael.
Yes.
And I know that you've said now your husband made you say that you thought Michael was a child molester.
Oh, yes, yes.
Did Michael ever forgive you for saying those things?
Yes, absolutely. Michael and I discussed it. It's so funny because we discussed it, we talked about it, and I said, Michael, I want to talk to you. And he says, I know. And he goes, you don't even have to worry. He says, I know you. You're my sister. I love you. I said, Michael, but I got to clear it. Because you want to clear this, of course. Yeah. He goes, Latoya, I know you. You're my sister. I know better. He says, I know it wasn't you. I know what he was doing. I know what he's forcing you to do. And we just cried in each other's arms and hugged each other and cried and embraced each other. And I said, I love you so much. And he says, oh, Latoya, you have no idea how much I love you.
Well,
and
there's a big heart that can forgive, even though
it
is
because,
a sister.
See, this is what's important that people don't understand. I understood what Michael was going through because I was controlled and I was told what to say or do. If you don't do this, I'm going to kill Michael. And I believe this. I believe he was going to do that.
By your ex.
Of course, by my ex. So you better go and say this. You better do this. It's like, but no. So my point is, and Michael knew that because he called me one time and said, Latoya, get away from him. He's going to kill you.
He warned you about him?
Oh, yeah, he warned me. He told me he was going to kill me as well. So but little did he know he was going to kill him as well, is what he was telling me.
And you never told Michael.
Latoya, let me interrupt for a moment.
Kidding?
We're going to take a break.
Sure.
And when we come back, there's so much more to talk about. We have your music to talk about, but also the joy and the pain of growing up with Jackson. It is not easy. We're going to talk more about that when we come back.
Very well.